I have two memories that really kind of stand out. One would have been the first polar plunge, because it was kind of our first big event, like as a GBA to do, and so seeing, we had 54 students jump, which was fantastic, but then see 100 students and faculty and staff and significant others all show up at the bar afterwards just to kind of hang out and get to know each other. To us, it was kind of a great bonding experience to have. I remember Claudia and I having to run drinks from downstairs upstairs and kind of doing that. So that was one. And the second would be the golf tournament, because that was kind of the last big event that we did as a GBA board. It was to really kind of reach out to the alumni, reach out to the recruiting companies, and get to integrate with the first years. Because so much of our first semester GBA was all about kind of planning for the fall, and so it was kind of our big push was doing the golf tournament. And I remember, Joe, the week of was just kind of slammed, and literally that Friday, everybody on GBA showed up to either help with registration or get people signed up or to serve food or to be there afterwards. So it was a lot of fun just to see everybody come together kind of at one time.
Now, where do you see the GBA growing?
Yeah, I think it's just taken, y'all taken 3 more steps, and we kind of laid a step, and then y'all taken 3 more. I think, doing these type of things is great, and kind of laying some knowledge for the future, and just figuring out ways to bring people together. I mean, the number of events you all have been able to plan in a relatively short period of time is phenomenal, and that's, at the end of the day, it's all about, I think, to me, the vision of GBA is to bring all the 10, 11 centers together into units. So I think y'all done a fantastic job of doing that, and I think it's only going to get better with the incoming class in the fall and getting them integrated, with you all.
Well, Kyle, thanks a lot for taking the time out.
Definitely.
And best of luck after graduation.
Appreciate it.
Minneapolis, right?
Go to Minneapolis, General Mills.
What I'm going to miss most is just the dedication that all of the members had, to their different positions. I think that was the first time where I had a group of 12, 13 people who were really committed to a certain cause and to the GBA, the Graduate School of Business in general, just their dedication and commitment.
Is there one memory that that will always bring you back to GBA or that you're taking with you?
Definitely the first transition meeting when we first got elected. It was kind of like great, we all had plans and goals, objectives for our positions. But definitely it's kind of like, okay, now we have the free reins. And
So looking at Dan's role this year, where do you see us going, or where do you see us now? I know
as Vice President, there's Dan Sarbacher, who is in that role right now, and I think I like what he's doing. So my main focus was more with the student groups within the Graduate School of Business, and I like his role. What he's doing right now is he's managing that, as well as going beyond that and doing programs for all of GBA within that. And I like his spirit, I like his enthusiasm, I like what he did with Polar Plunge. I know he wasn't, like the head leader of organizing that, but I like how his involvement in trying to get all of GBA active in that. So I like his creativity and innovation in the position.
Well, Dan, you definitely got his blessing. Matt,
good job, Dan.
The GBA is going to miss you, and we wish you well at Chicago, I believe.
Yeah, Chicago. I'll be at Kraft Foods in Glenview.
I know that we went from a negative bank balance into major dough for this year.
Yeah.
So congratulations on doing that. Is there anything that you'll particularly miss about being a member with GBA?
I think it's the people. For our board in particular, we came in with somewhat of an uncertainty as far as like, will we be able to sustain what the previous board had done, and if so, at what cost to essentially the bottom line. But the one thing I'm going to miss most is just the people and being able to see everyone, on a weekly basis and, catch up with them. Because once you hit the second year, it's a little harder to do that.
Now, is there one memory that sticks with you, it takes you right back into GBA, or that you'll carry with you as you go along?
I think every time I hear about like the golf outing, or maybe even if I see something with Spring Ball, it'll bring back memories, because those are the events where the whole board kind of has to pitch in and do their fair share to make sure that it comes off seamlessly and everyone has a good time.
Courtney, thank you for taking the time to chat with us.
No
You look
problem.
lovely, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
I actually miss I miss being with the group. It's everybody's sitting there trying to figure out how to move the program ahead, or even make GBA a little bit better each meeting, and I think that's what I'll miss.
Is there a particular memory from the group over the last few years that kind of sticks with you?
I'd say overall, the first polar plunge we did, I think, sticks. You know, we had 40-some individuals jumping into the ice-cold waters, as you know. But yeah, it was just kind of something that was good team building, but it was also something that was for good cause. It's, you know, we raised $11,000 for Special Olympics, and you know, it's something that brought us together, but also we were able to give back to the community too. So.
Now, between last year and this year, where do you see your chair going, or your role within the GBA organization?
Oh, I mean, I think they're already off to a hot start. You know, Sarah Greaser, who's in there now, has done a phenomenal job. She did much better than I did with raising funds for the polar plunge, and she's got some more activities planned. But again, it's, you know, I hope they continue to find ways to get more of the students involved in giving back to the community, and I think. That's the direction Sarah's taken, and I think she'll do a great job.
What am I going to miss most? Well, probably just the group as a whole. I mean, we had those 8 a.m. Tuesday morning meetings, which were kind of a pain to get to, but once we were there, it was always a good time, and we had pretty good camaraderie between our groups, so I will definitely miss that.
Now, looking back over the last few years, what's one particular memory that's kind of stayed with you?
Well, I think, you know, there's many. I think one of the big ones was, you know, the spring ball last year, you know, was really the first, it's all, for the new incoming GBA board, it's really the big first kind of kickoff event to kind of put your mark on things. So that's one of my great memories.
Now, again, comparing where you put the foundation for the development chair, going into this year, where do you see this position going, or where are we today?
Well, with the development chair, of course, one of the big things that you do in this position is kind of put together the golf tournament, the annual alumni fundraising event. And, you know, last year we were able to raise about $15,000 for the GBA and for other MBA student organizations. And, you know, now that we're kind of out of this, the worst of the economic crisis, and, you know, funds are starting to come back for recruiting companies, it's only going to continue to improve. So. I think Luis is going to take it and run with it and do a great job.
Well, Joe, thanks again for taking the time to chat with us. We'll definitely miss you.
I think the thing I'll miss most is just having the experiences with the rest of the GBA board. We were really lucky to have a really good board that really all got along really well. So that made those 8 a.m. meetings on Tuesdays a little easier to come to.
Is there one particular event or memory that you're going to take with you that's always going to bring you back to the GBA?
Definitely the spring ball. You know, Claudia and I put way more time in this than we had ever anticipated. It honestly is like planning a wedding. So we knew it was going to be a lot of work, but you know, we poured our heart and soul into it, and we thought that it came together really well. And so we're just really proud of that, and seeing it all come together a year ago already is just something that we were just super proud of.
Here, Ryan and Travis have taken on the role. Approved, disapproved? I've
just walked in the room, and they have done a fantastic job. It looks great, and have probably even exceeded last year. So.
They definitely appreciated your help, and Heather, we wish you well after graduation, and you'll be missed by the GBA. What are you going to miss most about this, or what memory are you going to take with you from being a GBA?
Honestly, I will not miss the 5 hours on Sundays putting all the information on the Granger Squire. But I will actually just miss the GBA in general. Everyone was just so friendly, and have, you know, kind of a community. Nice feeling.
What are your thoughts behind what we've been doing in the communications role this year compared to last?
Well, I'm so glad you actually took this over. I was very happy when you were on the communications committee in the fall, and then you became the technology communications chair, because you have so many great ideas, the passion to go forward with it, and where I just tried to go and get a steady format and put out the information, because it you know, hadn't quite been done that way before. Now you're taking it, you're doing it that way, you know, filling in the template that I laid out, but you're also adding on this social media aspect to it all with the YouTube channel, the Facebook, and the Twitter tweets, which I'm not a tweeter, but but I think it's great. I think that social aspect to the Granger Squire and the GBA in general is actually where this needs to go in the future, because it's huge. It is the next generation.
I really appreciate that. I think those are very kind words. I know I'm going to miss you. The GBA is going to miss you. We were very lucky to have you. And I want to wish you the best of luck out in California. I think Intel is very lucky to have you.